Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will talk about Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, which is also known as SINP or Saskatchewan PNP. I will talk about SINP eligibility criteria for OID category, which is occupation in demand, and EE subcategory for express entry. Fine. Moreover, in order to apply in this program, you need to submit your expression of interest to the SINP. So in the last section of this video, I will talk about the SINP EOI system. Okay, so guys, before I start, I do create lots of videos about how to become Canada PR with fastest, easiest and cheapest ways in 2020. So please do subscribe my YouTube channel for the latest videos and updates about Canada PR, so you do not miss a single video to become a Canada PR. Okay, so now let's start. Fine. So Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program is basically a one pathway to immigrant to Canada. Fine, and particularly for the Saskatchewan province. Fine, and this programs invites residency applications from non-Canadians who want to make the Saskatchewan their home. And this program nominates successful candidates to the federal government for the permanent residency in Canada. Means if you get the nomination to the SINP, then you can apply for the permanent residency to the federal government. Okay, so this is SINP and these are the some benefits. Fine, as you might be aware, there are lots of provinces who are having their PNP programs. Fine, but there are many reasons why we have to choose Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. So the first reason is if you have a low CRS score. Fine, if you have a valid express entry profile and you are not able to get your ITA, then you can apply in this program. Even you can apply without your express entry profile. Fine, if you do not have your express entry profile, then also you can apply in this SINP program. Okay, here one another good thing is you do not require any job offer from the Saskatchewan or Canada. Fine, and the requirements are very low for the language test result. Fine, and which is up to CLB 4. So if you do not have the good score in the English test result, then also you can apply. Fine, here most of the NOC codes are in demand, means your job is eligible to work in the Saskatchewan province. Fine, so we'll see that list also, so you'll get to know that which are the list of occupations are in demand. Okay, and here one another advantage is it is a competitive processing time. If everything works well, then you may get your nomination within 3 months, and then you can apply your permanent residency visa to the federal government. Okay, so these are the some benefits. Now let's move to the SINP category is basically divided into the three parts. One is the international skilled worker. This category is for the skilled worker who want to work and live in the Saskatchewan. Fine, so skilled worker is what? It is a worker who is having the special degree. Let's say for example engineer, doctor, scientist, and this degree may be obtained by attending the school, university or college. Okay, so as a outside candidate, if you are outside Canada, then you mostly eligible will be under this category. Fine, international skilled worker category. The another two categories are for the Saskatchewan experience is for the foreign nationals who already live and work in the Saskatchewan. So if you are on the work permit or student permit and you are living in the Saskatchewan, you may apply in the Saskatchewan experience category. Fine, if you want to plan to start a business, you can go for the entrepreneur as well as you can operate the farm, then you can go for the farm category. Fine, but today I will talk about this international skilled worker category for the skilled workers who want to make Saskatchewan as their home. Okay, so basically this international skilled worker category is again divided into the three subcategories, and we call it as one category is ISW, employment offer. This category is for the people who are having the job offer from the Saskatchewan. Fine, so again it is difficult to get the job offer, so we can apply in other two programs. So these programs are the occupation in demand, famously it is known as OID. Fine, another one is Saskatchewan Express Entry, so it is EE. Okay, so we will talk about this two subcategories. So let's see what are the requirements. Fine, what are the eligibility criteria for the SINP OID and Express Entry. So for both the stream, most of the things are same. Fine, here the only one difference that I have observed, the big difference is that in the terms of Express Entry profile. Fine, so in order to become eligible in Saskatchewan Express Entry stream, you should have valid Express Entry profile, whereas in order to become eligible in SINP OID category, you have at least CLB 4 in the IELTS or any other approved language test. Okay, another thing is you need to assess your points, means you need to assess your eligibility, and you need to get 60 points out of 100 as per the SINP points assessment grid. Fine, so you need to assess your eligibility first, and you need to get the 60 points in order to eligible in the both the programs. Okay, so now let's move to the another eligibility criteria, and if you don't know how to assess your points, I have already made one video on that, and I have made one calculator where you can fill your details and you will be able to know your points as well as you will be able to know your eligibility, whether you are eligible or not in SINP OID category or in Express Entry category. Fine, so if you are interested, you can watch this video. I have already shared the link of this video in the video description box of this video. Okay, so let's move to the another eligibility criteria. The another criteria is you need to show educational credential assessment, which we call it as ECA, from the designated organization. Fine, so with this requirement is also same for the both the program. So if you studied outside Canada, fine, then you need to do ECA from the designated organization, and these are the some valid designated organization which is approved by the government of Canada. So maybe you are aware with the WS, fine, World Education Services. The another famous organization is CES, Comparative Education Services of University of Toronto. Okay, you can also go for IQS, ICAS. Fine, but most of the people prefer WES and CES. Okay, then another category is another eligibility requirement is you need at least 1 year work experience in your skill. Fine, so you have a work experience which is in the demand and which is not from the excluded occupation list. This is very much important. Fine, so you need to first check that whatever the work that you are doing or you have done in the past, fine, for that work which should be in the demand. Fine, so your NOC stands for National Occupational Classification. Fine, each and every job is divided into some NOC codes. Fine, as per the Canadian job market. So you need to find out your NOC code and you have to check that it is not in the excluded list. Fine, and it must be from this category NOC 0, A and B in order to eligible in SINP OID and SINP Express Entry category. Fine, so let me just show you the excluded occupation list so you will get the idea. I know that if you are listening it first time you may be confused, but let me explain in detail so you will be able to understand. Fine, so this is the PDF which states that excluded occupation list for SINP express entry category and occupation in demand category. It means that if your occupation is one of this code, then you are not eligible to apply. For example, if we take about one example, let's take the this example, NOC code 0823, and this is code for the manager in aquaculture. So if your NOC code is this, then you are not eligible. Fine, so here the list is given, so you can explore that. Okay, which are the NOC codes are not eligible. Fine, but I am sure that there are most of the NOCs are eligible, so you will be able to find one or two NOCs which is related to your occupation and which are in demand currently. Fine, but make sure that you should avoid the NOC from this list in order to become the eligible. Okay, so let's go back to the our slides and let's move to the next eligibility criteria. Fine, next eligibility criteria is licensure requirements. So sometimes, fine, all the occupations, fine, are divided into the two types. One is the regulated occupation and another one is the non-regulated occupation. So the regulated occupation means you need to obtain a license from the regulated body of Government of Canada. Fine, so there are few occupations which need license and few occupations do not require that. Fine, so that is what also you need to find out. Once you find your NOC code, then you also need to find out whether it is regulated in Canada or not regulated in Canada. Okay, so for example, let's try to open the one PDF, fine, which is for the SINP requirements related to the professional status or licensure. Fine, so it states that the if you have the particular NOC, then if you require to take the license from the particular body, then it is listed over here. For example, let's say if you are a software engineer and if your NOC code is 2173, fine, if you are a computer engineer and if your NOC code is 2147, then you may need to take the license from this body APEGS or CIPS. Fine, so you have to apply for the license to this body, fine, in order to become eligible. Fine, for the more detailed criteria you can open or explore the website of this body. Okay, so similarly for all the NOC codes, all the NOC codes, the regulated body name and details are listed. So you can just explore your NOC code and you can find whether it is regulated or it is not regulated. So if it is regulated, you can start your process. You can start your process to get the license if you want to apply in the SINP program. Okay, so this is the one requirement. Another eligibility criteria is you need the settlement funds. Fine, in order to apply in this category, this funds depends on the number of family members. So for example, if you want to migrate with your family members and the number of family member are 2, then you need to show at least $16,135 in your account. Fine, so depending on the family numbers, you have to show the equivalent Canadian dollars in your account. Fine, so this is also the one requirement for the eligibility. Then the last requirement is the settlement plan. You need a settlement plan, and to know about your settlement plan, you have to just open the website of Government of Canada and you can find this plan. Fine, and from the Google, if you type living in Canada or settlement plan in Canada, you will be redirected to this page. And here simply you have to fill some questions. Find it, the questions are self explanatory, so you do not need any help. Fine, you just have to, this is the home page, you just need to click on the start and you have to provide the various answers. Fine, so I'm not going to do that unnecessary. I do not want to create the long video. Okay, so now this is the last eligibility requirement. Fine, so these are the requirements in order to become eligible under SINP OID and express entry requirement. Fine, now in order to apply, so if you want to apply in SINP program, then the first step is to submit your expression of interest, which is called the EOI. Fine, and this is a recently introduced new system. We call it as SINP EOI system. Fine, so it is not an application for the provincial nomination, it is only pre-application, and which shows that, or which allows that to fill few information in the SINP portal, and which indicates that you are interested to apply in the SINP program. Fine, so it is just an interest that you are showing to the SINP. I am interested to migrate in this province. Fine, so you, in order to apply in SINP EY system, fine, you need to create first your profile in the SINP portal. Fine, once you create the profile, then your profile will be in the pool where there are many candidates have submitted their profile, and all the profiles are ranked accordingly SINP point assessment grid, as we discussed earlier, right? And based on the your points, if your points are high, then you will get the selection, means you will get the invitation to apply for the SINP program. And once you get the invitation to apply, then you need to submit your documents within 60 days. Fine, and then SINP will start your assessment after you submit all the requirement documents, and you need to also pay 350 Canadian dollar for the processing fee. Fine, and after this, within 3 months, or as per the processing time of SINP, fine, you will get the nomination from the SINP, and with that nomination you can file your permanent residency visa for Canada to the federal government. Fine, so the first step is you need to create the profile in EOI system. Then once you get the ITA, then you submit the document, receive the nomination from the SINP, and then you file your process. Then you file for the permanent residency to the federal government. Okay, so if you don't know how to create your SINP EOI profile, I have created one video on that. Find how to submit your SINP EOI, and you need to follow only 3 steps. So here step by step process is explained. Okay, so if you are interested, you can watch this video. Okay, one more thing, if you want to do some research about the SINP program, okay, whether if I do create my profile in this portal, I will get the ITA, I will get the nomination or not, then you may explore this video. So here I have tried to reveal the 2020 trend analysis of Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee program. Fine, so I have tried to identify some facts, figures, and I have done the prediction of the next draw or the upcoming draws, what will be the future cutoff, as well as I have predicted that how many number of invitations will be issued by the SINP in the next 6 months. Fine, so if you are interested, you can watch this video, SINP trend analysis. All the links that I have said in this video description of this video of my YouTube channel. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So let me conclude. Fine, so we started with SINP program. Fine, so SINP program, then we discussed about the international skilled worker category, which has this two subcategory, SINP OID and express entry. Then we discussed about the requirements of both the program, and we also discussed about how to apply in SINP program through SINP EOI system. Fine, so I know that if you are listening with this video first time, it would not be possible to understand each and everything. Fine, but you will learn gradually. So you explore the links which are given to you in the video description box. Fine. So guys, please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel for the latest videos and updates about Canada PR. And please click on the like button if you like the video. And please share your reviews or the suggestion in the comment section so I can improve myself as well as I can get the suggestions from the new videos. Okay, thank you and best wishes.